Diaz Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack at it. And as you can tell by that thumbnail right there, yes indeedy. Stop. Graffiti time. Graffiti is all over this bus. Trip out, man. That's me, and that's me now, right? That's me when I was a young buck, maybe 14, 15 years old. I was thugging, right? CYA, California Youth Authority. That's when I thought I had everything figured out. I thought I had life figured out. Couldn't no one tell me nothing. Oh, they tried to tell me a whole lot of something, man. But I took it in stride and kept doing what I did in a menudo style or direct fashion because I thought I had my foods mixed up. I already knew what time it was, man. Like I said, couldn't no one tell me nothing. But if I can go back, see, read into the thumbnail. If I could go back, right? And I know many of you thought, oh, he's talking about going back to being an active Norteño, to being in good standings. Nah, that has crossed my mind plenty of times. I'd sit here and be a fool and be a dummy and be a liar and a fat mouth if I told you I never thought about it. Of course, we all know my story. For those of you that don't, refer to some of my old spills. But yes, I wasn't ready for my career to end at that point in time when it did. But everything happens for a reason, and there's good reasoning behind it. So with that being said, that's not what this is about. This spill is about if I can go back knowing everything that I know now and talk to my younger self, what would I tell myself? And what is this inspired by? It's inspired by that Super Bowl commercial when LeBron actually went back and talked to his younger self. Didn't give him too much game, but gave him just enough to let him know, man, you got to be seasoned in what you do to go ahead and do that, right? And that everything is better left unsaid, man, because you have to live your life how you have to live it. You have to make wrong and right choices in order to become the man or woman that you become. Okay, but if I can go back, fuck all that. So I'm scared I'm gonna get at myself like in a real way and say, stop, Bawoso, right? Stop the frivolous ways of thinking. Stop trying to be cool and play the role and be harder than you really are. Stop doing things that you know are wrong and that you really don't want to do to impress somebody. The only one that should be impressed is your mother, your father, your familia, and yourself, because there was plenty of times in my life that I wasn't impressed. I was depressed, right? I was looking at myself in the mirror like, damn, so scared. Hey, that fucking thought on my face, that shit looks stupid, right? You know what I mean? I had to look myself in the mirror every night and explain to myself the reason why I was back in the oil, the reason why I was doing a motherfucking life bid as a minor, the reason why I had a pedazo in my hand. I was going to go out and hit someone that I didn't even know from 400 or 500 miles away that I had never met over a cold cup of fucking Lipton iced tea that didn't taste too good. Orale, iced tea that's cold. Figure it out. Anyways, when it's all said and done, what I would tell myself is to slow down, to relax, to think about situations before you just jump in. Because see, as a youngster, I was always wanting to be in the mix. I always wanted to prove myself to everyone else. Even if I knew it was wrong, even if it was going against the grain with my natural self, even if I said, nah, fuck that, Charlie, I ain't trying to go out there and get it like that, I still went out there. Now, was that hard? Nah, that was pressure. I was feeling the pressure, but I was putting the pressure on myself. See, wasn't no one asking me to do things or telling me to do things at that point in time when I was a youngster. I felt that if for no other reason, I should do it just to show everyone that I was bigger and badder than others, right? And at the end of the day, what did it get me? I'm going to tell you what it got me. It got me sentenced to the California Youth Authority as a minor, okay? And I thought I had that figured out too. I went to NRCC and ran with the thugs. Made moves, you know the deal. This thugs for... Man, I was in there making moves with thugs, with the Homeboys, with the Northerners, with the active Norteños. At that time, we weren't calling ourselves active Norteños. We were just Homeboys. From all over, from Stockton, Tula County, the Bay Area, on back. You know what I mean? Get a Mac, make it happen. Hats get flat, just like that. Anyways, we're doing what we did. And of course, all the Valleros. And what happened was, like I said, I thought I had the game figured out. Okay? But late night, when I'd be in my cell, you know what I mean? By myself and thinking, I'd be like, damn, where the fuck am I? How did I get here? And everyone does that. Everyone on the outside looking in, on the outside, you're concrete, homie. You're built, you're strong, you're muscle. You're putting some muscle behind your hustle. You're out there in the yarda with your mug on mean, with your chest on that you earned and pressed on all out because now you're in the bay, yo, doing all day, yo. And you got to be that man that everyone thinks that you are, right? But late night when you get in that cell, you're like, fuck, that shit was crazy on the yard. I thought I had a motherfucking thing sticking out of it. Fuck that, right? And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Now, there are some very few individuals that'd be like, fuck that shit. Usually those are the ones that put that thing in that guy's head and they just don't give a fuck, right? Or at least that's what I thought. But if I can go back, I would tell myself, slow down. Think before you react. Because there was plenty of times I reacted to situations that didn't even involve me. I had the game, I had the clecha. I was schooled enough to know not to involve myself in shit that didn't fucking pertain to me. But at the same time, in the meantime, in between time, at the end of the day, I always wanted to be that one to be involved in shit, right? I wanted to be on the forefront. I wanted to be on frontline status. I wanted to be in that first wave, like the homeboy Spokio said, because I felt I had something to prove. See, it was never enough for me. And it wasn't like people were telling me, hey, you're on frontline status, you don't fucked up, you're yo DP or yo this or you're on cleanup or this or that and this. It was nothing like that. This was my own reasoning behind what I was doing. I wanted to be legendary. I wanted to be the one, right? But like I said in a lot of my spills, it doesn't matter how much work I put in and how much I did. It was never, ever, ever enough. Not to other people, but to myself. So if I can go back this moment right now to my younger self, I would say, listen, man, what were you doing when you were supposed to be going to school instead of ditching school and kicking it with the homeboys? What were you guys doing? You guys were bored than a motherfucker, kicking back at the park cold, no money. Vatos are going inside 7-Eleven, still in a payday in a motherfucking Milky Way. You know what I mean? When you guys could have just went to school, did your thing, wiggled on a few BIs, right? And got your motherfucking lunch. That pizza was good back in elementary. Keep it real, right? That shit was bomb. Free food, you know what I mean? All that. I could have been doing that in a warm atmosphere, man, learning some shit, educating my mind, which is what I was going to be told to do anyways later on. But instead, I thought I was thuggish, ruggish. I was out there like busy, you know what I mean? I was on follow the drip. I was out there kicking back at a park, ditching school with the homies posted up like I was hard. And really, the only thing we were doing, man, was trying to look out for the fucking placas so they didn't catch us. But really, in the back of our minds, wanting the placas so we could run and shit and look cool. Oh, yeah, you see the way I fucking juked that vato? So I hit him with the Chicana U-turn. I got a big old chistoso for the vato over here on Loft Bro, right? Charlie, man. We were looking like babosos. To the other kids that were getting out of school and walking past us, they were just like, motherfucking riffraff, right? That's what we were. Okay, so if I can go back, I would tell myself, wisen up, educate your mind. If you want to be a gang member, if you want to be in the gang and all that, that's cool, man. That's cool, young gun, young Skinner. Do your thing, but at the same time, man, do it righteously. Educate yourself. Know when to make that next move your best move. You don't have to be out here in the streets struggling. The struggle hasn't started yet. You're not locked up. That's when the real struggle and striving really comes into play. What you do out here on the calles when you're a young gang member does not count. None of that shit matters. The only thing that matters is when you're behind those walls and you're struggling for the cause, for the people, for the gente, the household. That's what fucking matters to the people that it should matter to. That's it, okay? But what matters to you, I'm asking you, what matters to yourself? Does it matter that you don't see your familia for the rest of your life? Does it matter that you don't get to see your children grow up? Does it matter that you're fucking oppressing your own people, your own raza, your own brown people? For no other reason than an imaginary line. They're over there, you're over here. Now, I'm not pushing the issue saying stop gangbanging and everyone should just get along and start saying, hey, let bygones be bygones. That's not my room to speak on. I'm just saying before you make that next move, before you're in the mix, why get in the mix? Now, I'm not trying to deter manpower or deter soldados. There's always going to be that. I'm trying to inspire the youth, the ones that have not yet even made that decision to get in that mix, but they're teetering on the fence. I'm telling you right now, these tattoos, they're not cool, bro. Because guess what? If I go to a job interview, so I got to wear a shirt. What the? You know what I mean? Because they ain't fucking with me. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, all these moves that I thought were making me look cool and making me look bad, if I could go back, I would say, Charlie, don't get the 14 on your eye. Not because you don't represent the North End, because you ain't got love for the cause, because you're a true believer. But at the end of the day, you don't need a fucking 14 on your eye to prove that shit to anybody. You know what you're all about. Again, I would tell myself that faithful day that I went out and I caught that 187, stay sleeping, Bible. So when the homeboys woke me, hey, come on, let's go. The fucking car was already packed. We were damn near sitting on each other's lap. I didn't even need to go. There was no room. But of course, like a baboso, half drunk, I still went because I wanted to be the one, right? I wanted to be involved. I wanted to be the man. You know, I wish I could go back and not even have approached that individual and hit him up. I already knew where he was from. There was no fucking reason for me to open my big fat fucking mouth and run it to this individual that was older than me. I should have been respecting him. I should have been giving respect to my elders. Of course, that wasn't my reasoning, my way of thinking at that time. My way of thinking was, I'm going to do what I want to do, man. Fucking can't no one tell me shit. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I was scared to go home because I knew my mom was going to beat my ass. So who really was in charge? Think about it. But if I can go back in time, if I can go back, you know, there's a lot of different things I would tell myself. You know, wisen up. Be wise beyond your years. Learn your historia. Learn your history about your people. Because one of these days, man, you're going to need that. You know, one of these days, you're going to need to know what's going on around you instead of what's just going on within the collective. Okay? Now, as I got older and through the years, I learned that. Where I learned it, I can't call it. You know what I mean? And to what degree I learned it, I really can't call it. But it just came to me. Bam, like that one day. My antennas went up alongside of my horns, and Sasuke, I went from evil to Knievel, and I was there, right? I jumped the ramp, and I was there, and I knew I was in the know. And I knew I done fucked up, right? You know what I mean? But everything was going to see all right. You know, the situation was, it was too late. You know, it was too late. I'm going to tell you a story. So I'm a youngster, right? And I had a teacher. It was 4th grade. And her name was Miss Parker, right? Orderly Miss Parker. And first day of school, I wanted to be the cool guy. I wanted to be the one. I wanted to be the biggest in the back. I wanted to be the Skinner, right? So she tells me something, I forget, man. It's been fucking 50 years, and I ain't even 50. It's been a long time. And I called her a bitch, right? For no other reason than just to disrespect her and get a few laughs out of a few J-cats that don't even count. A couple of them are locked up forever. One's dead, and one of them told on everyone. So it didn't matter, right? But anyways, so this is what I did. And they laughed and giggled. And she said, one of these days you're going to meet my husband. Well, a few years later, I did meet her husband. And her husband was my probation officer. And he always remembered what she told him. And he remembered me as soon as I walked in. And I knew, you know, you done fucked up, right? I knew it was at that point in time, man, I was going to have it rough. And I did. And I didn't shake that probationary tail for 20-something years. I was on probation or parole or in jail or on the run or incarcerated. Something for 20 fucking years. Because it's not an easy tail to shake. Okay? So I would tell myself that day, just shut your fucking mouth. Just be in school and learn. All the other homeboys that were righteous homeboys that are still kicking and still fully functioning, they're active and they function. Didn't say shit to the teacher. They said, can I get a number 2 pencil? That was about it. But me, on the other hand, oh boy, I wanted to be like Bob. You know, every liquor store, every telephone. I thought I was bad. I thought I was that one. And what happened? I went through more struggle than I should have. Okay? And then I get incarcerated. And like I said, man, I'm that one. I'm that bad guy. You know what I mean? I'm that motherfucker can't no one tell shit. And I struggled within myself because I love the Norte. To this day, I still love it, right? I got a lot of respect for Norteños and I got love for the gente. But I never hated Sureños. I never hated what was known as our enemiga. I never hated the perros. In fact, man, I got a lot of love for the perros. You already know what it is, perro. You know what I mean? I got a lot of love to this day. So it was very hard within myself whenever we would get off on each other or would get in fights to justify my actions. You know, the way I justified it was, it doesn't matter, man. It's for the safety and security of our people. And they pose a threat to what we got going on. And I ain't going to let no one hinder that, you know, which was the right way of thinking from what I was reading, what I was being told. But at the same time, within myself was a struggle. Because, see, we're all human beings at the end of the day. We all have to answer to ourselves before we answer to another man. You know, and that after a while, it becomes too much motherfuckers to answer to, right? And that's how I felt. But I never had no hate in my heart for anybody. You know, I wasn't the nicest guy in the motherfucking, I couldn't swim the best in the ocean, right? But I knew how to swim. You know what I mean? I wasn't the nicest motherfucker on the block. But at the end of the day, I wasn't the baddest either. I never pretended to be or never act like I am to this day. I was just a regular old Joe Schmo just trying to get on by, you know? So as I got older, I progressed into the Merced County Jail. You know, I've been to Modesto, Stanislaus County Jail. I've been to Sacramento County Jail. I've been to several county jails up there, Santa Clara County, San Jose. I've been to several county jails. But Merced I consider mine because that was home base, and I was on 3 and 4 block when it was activated, and we was activated, we functioned, right? And I was doing all that. You know, I was within the COC. I was doing what I had to do to maintain, man, my status. And again, I would tell myself, there was times, man, when I did Homeboys wrong. There was times when I showed favoritism. There was times when I oppressed homeboys because they weren't from my body or from my city or from my town. There was times when I should have fucking brought the homeboys up to par, and instead I pushed them down because I wanted to get another homeboy moved into my cell just because I knew him and I liked him a little bit better. When at the end of the day, man, we were all one unit. We were all one gente. We were all one people. But this was my way of thinking. This is all I seen around me. You know, I seen a lot of cutthroat bullshit, man, and I fucking participated. You know, quietly as it's kept, you got a lot of gente that run around the city of Merced right now saying DO this, DO that, drop out this, active that. I was one of the first individuals to bring that to Merced to start that. And now look at me. Now I'm on the other side of the fence. Now I'm no longer looked at as a homeboy. Now I'm looked at as basura, trash, or for what they call me, right? No matter the work I put in, no matter what I did, right? So I would go back and tell myself, was it really all worth it, gun? You know, and my answer to my older self would be, I'm going to continue to strive in this push because, see, I would never say don't be a norteño or don't be a gang member or don't go to prison. I think that's what made the man I am today. Now, there's a few little modifications I would make, you know what I mean? So I was getting bang, bang. But for the most part, I am the man I am today. The reasoning and the way I think and the way I talk and the way I speak is because of certain situations I found myself in. So I wouldn't change too much. But so scared. I tell them who won the Super Bowl and bet on the Bengals. Making it, at least, right? I try to make some money. Orderly Marty. There were certain things I would tell myself, but without being too funny, the main thing in life I would tell myself is care more about others and more about your gente. And I'm talking about all brown people more than you care about your selfish intentions yourself. Because see, in many ways, it's like, well, Gun, how'd you care about yourself if you were putting yourself in these bad situations? I cared about how I looked to other people more than my own body, more than my own self. See, I put myself in these sticky, icky situations to prove that I can get through them. They were like obstacles to me. And I wanted everybody to see that I can get through these obstacles. Now, was that a right way of thinking? In some aspects, kind of. You know, kind of. I wanted to let everyone know I wasn't the one to be played with or fucked with. But at the end of the day, what did I didn't get no brownie points. So I definitely didn't get a trophy. You know what I got? I got deemed. You know what I mean? This is how it goes in life. For me, this is my story, you know? So if I could go back to talking to myself, there would be things that I would tell myself, but at the end of the day, I would tell myself, just like LeBron told his younger self, you're going to have to find out, you know, you're going to have to find out. Just be patient. Okay. Patience is a word that I wish someone would have told me, because see, no one ever told me patient. They said, strive, homie, push, pull, strive forever forward. You know what I mean? So I thought we would do this shit at a fast pace, rapidly. Motherfucker, I'm pushing, I'm pulling, I'm striving, I'm falling. I can't get up, right? I was trying to get up. I was trying to get there and make it happen. And at the end of the day, if I would have had a little patience, been a little bit more humble, showed a little bit more fucking canalismo and love, maybe my situation in my life would have been different. Now, I know a lot of you looked at that thumbnail and you seen if I could go back. What do you mean? Going back to the Northern cause? Brother, I never left. It left me. Okay, it left me behind. It went in a different direction. Okay, I'm still a firm and true believer in that cause and what it is, man, for the benefit and the safety and security and the equality of the people. I'm definitely with that program, okay? But the program I'm not with is oppressing others or fucking trying to fucking think I'm better than others. That's not the program I'm with, right? But it's none of my business now. I'm no longer in it. My name's not Bennett, but I'm gone from that, you know? So I can no longer speak on that situation. But as far as me going back, I'm right where I need to be in life right now. I have my children. I'm a father. Okay? I'm doing my thug thizzle on YouTube. Bang, bang. Gracias, menudo, to all the gente. I'm trying to rock the good narrative and the good rhyme for the people that want to listen. You have to listen close because I'm all over the place with this shit. But at the end of the day, man, if you listen, there's a message there. Whether it be positive or negative, I can't call it like an alcoholic, man. But the message is there. You decipher it. It's for you. It's not for me. I'm the one pushing the shit. I already know what I'm talking about. Open your ears because it's right there. Clean your lentes, right there. Clean your lentes. In that fashion. Anyways, at the end of the day, if I could go back and tell myself anything, the number one thing I would have told myself, And I mean, this is number one. I just said, fuck all your baby mamas. Bang, bang. And in that fashion, the gun. Hope that you move fast with a purpose. Hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Don't think I forgot, man. You know what I mean? Hit that like and subscribe. If you don't like this, man, you can hit that thumbs down. Heavy as the head, that wears the crown. You already know what it is. The gun. And I'm just kidding about the baby mamas. Or am I? Bang, bang. One never knows, does one. The gun.